I have always talked about spiritual cleansing, spiritual protection, but then after cleansing, people need protection. They ask, how do we protect ourselves? How do we protect our homes? In this video, I'm going to talk about spiritual protection. Specifically, spiritual protection is the act of shielding yourself, your mind, your body, home and spirit from negative energy, evil intentions, witchcraft attacks, spiritual parasites, emotional and psychological harm, bad dreams and spiritual disturbances. So when we talk about protection, we talk about how you can protect yourself from being harmed in such a way spiritually. So the purpose of this is to strengthen your aura, your spirit, and your destiny path. So you may ask, what is the difference between spiritual protection and spiritual cleansing? Spiritual cleansing is the removal of those things after they have attacked you. After you have been attacked by witchcraft and you are facing those bad dreams, evil attacks, you remove them from your body. That is spiritual cleansing. It is like bathing. But then after removing them, you need to protect yourself so that you prevent further attacks, you prevent future attacks. So it is like bathing. You bathe to remove that, to remove physical dirt. But now, after removing that physical dirt, how do you keep yourself clean? Because you may go into a dirty place again and something may make you dirty, or someone may make you dirty again. So how do you protect yourself from being dirty again? So in that case, if you don't want to become dirty, then you can wear protective gears, shoes, stockings, long clothes, helmets, and so on, so that you avoid bathing all the time or being harmed physically. So that is also what happens with the spirits. Once you have cleansed, you have bathed, you have cleaned the spirit, you need to protect it from being harmed in the future, from becoming dirty again, in order for you to prevent or to avoid frequent cleansing. So you need to protect your spirit. Protection is prevention, not fear. And all you need to know is that you can protect your spirit through your body, and you can also protect your home, space, or even the whole community if you wish to. You can protect yourself with words, prayers, with faith and trust, with belief. You call upon your ancestors or your God to protect you, and it will happen just that way. They will be there to listen to you, to guard you, or to protect you from any spiritual attack. However, if you don't have that faith, if you don't have much faith, that is where now I come in. If you cannot call upon your ancestors, your God, your word, to protect you, then that means you need assistance from someone who can help you do that. Now here calls for spiritual protection from someone else who is spiritual and capable of doing that. So when you call me to come and protect you, what I will first do is to do cleansing, because I cannot come and protect what is already there. It is like wearing clothes, gumboots on dirty legs, or putting on helmets on a head that is already damaged by bricks. So we need to ensure that you are first of all cleansed. You are clean spiritually before we do any protection. So that is what I will usually do. When I come, I first of all encourage you to do cleansing. And then after doing that cleansing, I protect you from future harm. So when you're protecting the body, some people may give you things to carry, things to wear, or to move around with, like bangles, necklaces, charms. Those charms you can be given to move with to protect you. And they also work. They work that way. Some people give sticks, crystals, and so on. They also work, but they are vulnerable to spiritual theft. Because when someone wants to attack and realizes that you are protected, you have this stick, you have this necklace, they can first of all come and steal it. If not stealing, they can destroy it. That is why sometimes you may find your necklace, your bangle, protective gears have been stolen, or they have been damaged beyond repair. It falls down and it breaks. It is because it has fallen down under the influence, under the force of the spirit. Or the spirit comes and picks it, it steals and it disappears. It is like placing a CCTV camera or a fence. If someone wants to come and steal you, or to come and attack you without being known, he will first of all steal those CCTV cameras, or may cut the fence. So this is what happens with the spiritual world. If someone wants to attack you, they can also send spirits to first come and steal this protection that you're having, or to damage them so that you cannot repair them again, and then they easily attack you. So in order to avoid that, we give blood protection, infusing charms into your blood so that no one can easily interfere with, because it is very hard for someone to reach your blood, to attack you when charms are flowing into your blood. So it means you have this permanent protection in yourself. And those charms that we use are a combination of very aggressive plants and animals that are feared by spirits, and most of which fight back. So when someone tries to attack you, the next day you'll hear that the person is sick, the person has gotten an accident, or has gotten a financial situation or financial stagnation, or has lost money in one way or the other, or has gotten some other problem. So that means that this charms, this protection is fighting back because it has been attacked. So they don't just protect you, but they fight back. They react to spiritual attacks. You can also protect your home and space, and this can be done in very many different ways. We have the temporary protection and permanent one. Something that can be done just for a moment and one that can be done to last for a longer period of time. So the temporary ones involve using items like salt, placing salt at the entrance of the door to prevent or to protect you from these spirits that may want to enter, or placing a broom behind your door, or just crushed guava leaves, neem leaves, garlic, ginger, rosemary, and other simple herbs. They can also help in protecting you. And then the permanent ones involve planting herbs around your home or charms around your home so that they can protect your home from spiritual attacks. When they are planted there, the spirits cannot enter, cannot access your home. So the protection is known and detected by the spirits. They are able to tell that this home is protected. So when they're around, they're able to see that this place is inaccessible. It is just like when you go somewhere and you find the place is cordoned or sealed with a tape or cordon, you will understand that strangers are not needed here. Maybe it is a crime scene or something has happened there. So the police cordons that place. And for you who has just come, you'll first of all be like, it looks like they don't want people into this place, and you'll not cross there. However, you'll see people moving in and out. Those ones who are moving in will only be people who are accepted there, the people around there, the ones who are needed in that home or in that place. So the same thing happens with spiritual protection. It is not like we protect from against all spirits, but only the wanted spirits, the ancestors, those that are needed in that home are the only ones that will access them. So this protection does not prevent all kinds of spirits. It only protects you against harmful spirits. But your ancestors will be able to access you or to access your home. And we also protect homes or bodies with symbols like the cross, arrows placed in a cross form, or just poles and timber placed in a cross form. Once you place anything, a timber, around your gate or your entrance, the spirits will understand that this place is sealed. That is why you find when you go to houses that are or buildings that are not finished, people place those timber across the door like this. It shows the spirits that you're not needed here. And the spirits respect this highly. The spirits have a high level of discipline. So those some people will say, the spirits don't have any physical barrier, they can access anywhere. But once they see that someone is not needed here or anything is not needed here, they will not access that place. They will not come in. The wandering spirits will not access the place because they are aware that no one or no spirit is needed in this place. So that sign of a cross is a spiritual symbol of protection. That is why you find very many religions putting the cross. It is not because of Jesus or because of anything. It is because a cross is a symbolism or a signal of protection. So it is not just for it is not for a Bible. That is why you can find people, places with the crosses and other symbols, arrows in a cross form. It shows protection. And for children, we use black threads tied with charms around their waists, their wrists, or around their necks to protect them from anything that is dangerous, that is spiritual. There are also waist beads that you can use to protect you with those black or white stones. You can use them to give you protection against evil. So for a simple home protection, you can use salt. Place salt in a small dish at the doorway or a broom behind a door. Or you can use bay leaves, garlic, crushed neem leaves, guava leaves at the corners of the house or the entrance. So this gives a simple protection against evil, against spirits, wandering spirits. So if you need simple protection, that one can work for you. They block negative energy from accessing an area. Also, there are some practices that you need to embrace. For example, you should never leave unwashed plates in your house. Never sleep with dirty plates and clothes overnight. I one time advised about why you should not wash plates at night or clothes at night because the clinking of the plates attracts spirits and water acts as a spiritual mirror. So it is dangerous. However, you don't need to keep dirty plates in the house, especially the room that you sleep in. That is why the elders those days used to cook very early. They could eat very early. By 6 p.m., they have already prepared supper. They wash their things early and then they set fire. They start telling stories. This is because they're preventing such things. They knew the risks associated with keeping dirty plates in a house. Or if you cannot manage that, because nowadays I understand people don't have time. They come back from work and they cook, they eat, they want to sleep immediately. If you cannot wash your plates early enough, then you can keep them in a separate place. For example, in a kitchen or a certain store somewhere, but not inside the house that you sleep in. They put you at a risk of spiritual attacks because they attract wandering spirits. They hold bad energy and they store the day's trouble. So it means you are keeping these lingering troubles, energies, or anything around you. So always avoid that. So physical cleanliness. If something is physically clean, then it means it is spiritually safe. But then spiritual protection is not only use of herbs, it is also discipline. That is why I always encourage people to avoid situations that test their emotional and psychological strength. Avoid anger, avoid quarrels, speaking negative words about yourself. I hear people saying, for me, I'm cursed. Someone cursed me, I'm not blessed, I'm this and that. All those ones are very dangerous for you. Avoid envy, avoid jealousy, revenge thoughts, as well as accepting gifts from people you don't understand, from people you don't trust. Also practice gratitude daily, kindness, forgiveness, and silence once angered. You cannot be spiritually strong. You cannot say you are protecting yourself, that you have cleansed. When you are keeping somebody in your heart, you can never forgive people. You always talk back when annoyed. You react badly. How do you say you have cleansed, that you are spiritually strong? When you are so short-tempered, you react easily to insults. So you need to see how to control yourself first. Forgive others, because when you tie people in your heart, you tie your own destiny. You cannot move forward. You cannot break through when you're having people you're tying in your heart. So the first thing you need to do is to untie yourself. Forgive people. Release them from your heart. These things form your strongest spiritual shield. And in your meals, include foods like garlic, ginger, turmeric, honey, lemon, millet, groundnuts, and leafy greens. These foods empower your spirit. They empower humans spiritually. That is why people eat these things are usually very strong. Not only physically, not in terms of health, but spiritually. They never fall sick anyhow. They're always very fit. Because when you are healthy spiritually, your body will equally be healthy and your emotions will be strong and balanced. Also, avoid too much alcohol. Avoid eating leftover foods or rotten foods. And too much sugar, especially at night. That is why sometimes you wake up feeling sick. And you may think it's just the body, but because the spirit is weakened. So if you're protected, you'll have some signs. There are things that will happen in your life that will show you that you are strong spiritually because of the protection that you have got. Spiritual signs will be there, like you'll have a clearer mind, reduced fear, you'll stop fearing things or places anyhow, and you'll have those dreams associated with protection. You'll also have fewer nightmares, or you may not have any nightmare at all. Less bad luck. When you go somewhere, when there is an opportunity, it will grab you, it will get you fast, and people will stop disturbing you spiritually. So protection brings peace first to your mind.